super helpful, so I'm going to be trying his technique today. So if it's a little slow, I apologize. It's because I'm following along with the tutorial. And yeah, there we go. Let's see here. Let me get it rolling. Alright, got stuff rolling. Still says it's connecting a couple things, but yeah. Alright. Pause this guy. And make sure that's paused. And yep, got that up. Got that guy up. Excellent, we're all ready. So before I get super into it, started and everything, I gotta use the bathroom because it's early in the morning. So BRB, everybody. Okay.
Okay, the next step is to make a selection out of the silhouette of the figure. So with this one, it's clean line art, so it's actually very easy. And the way I'm going to do it is I'm just going to go to the line art layer. And I'm going to use a magic wand. I'm going to select outside of the character. And I'm making sure this contiguous box is checked, because as you see, without it, it'll just select everything that's white. But with contiguous checked on, it'll just select around the line. And then I just want to zoom in and find areas like this to add. And to add to the selection, it's the same as with the lasso. You hold down Shift. And to subtract, you hold down Alt. So Shift, holding down Shift lets you add to it, and Alt subtracts. Just want to get inside all those little areas, and there. So now I have a selection of everything that's not the character. So if I was to fill this right now, it would, and let me just deselect this preserve transparency. If I filled it, it would be selecting outside of the character. So we want the opposite. So to do that, you select Shift Control I, and that selects the inverse. But now if I filled it, first of all, I don't want to fill it on the same line art layer. I want to fill it on a new layer underneath the line art. But if I filled it, you'll notice that it goes a little bit over that line. See if I zoom way in. And we don't want that. So instead of filling it right away, what I'm going to do is go up here to select, modify, contract. I'm going to contract it by, let's say, 2 pixels. And then I can fill it. And it really doesn't matter what color you pick to fill. But see, now it's sort of within the lines. So that's what I want. And now for this character, because the lines aren't clean, and see how there's this like space with his neck, I can't just use the magic wand and fill. So here I'm going to be using the lasso. Now the trick with the lasso that makes it so fast is to make use of Shift and Alt. And instead of carefully going around and following the line perfectly, what I do is make smaller selections and then just hold Shift to add to those selections, or Alt. So see, I'm just sort of making selections and refining my selection. And then once you get good at this, it's what lets you become fast. And this is why this is preferable for me than the polygonal. There is a trick, which is if you, let's say I'm going to add to this selection. If I add to it and then I hold down Alt, it'll switch it from the regular lasso to the polygonal lasso. And it's the same thing if I was on the polygonal lasso. And you can add to the selection either way with holding down Shift. See, now I could be a lot more precise, really get the shape accurate, and then I could hold down Alt and switch to the regular lasso. And with the polygonal lasso, basically what you're doing is you are making a path, but you want to connect it back to the beginning. And when you bring it back to your starting point, you'll see a little circle appear beside the lasso that lets you know that you've gone back to the starting point. And once you click that point, that's what will make the selection. I'm going to switch it back to the regular lasso tool. And let's say because there's many different ways of doing this. Let's say I actually made a selection that's too big. See, I don't want this area, so then I could just hold down Alt to get it to the minus tool and then cut out that area. So it's really like sculpting. You could add or subtract. See how I missed some areas? Well, I can just add to those. And that's really easy. And this is really the beauty of the lasso tool and using this. And I find this is faster, for me anyway, than using the pen tool. or other tools that get you selections. So now we have this, and I'm going to make a new layer underneath the line art, and I'm going to fill it using the paint bucket tool. Now the shortcut for the paint bucket tool is G. So L is lasso and G is paint bucket. I sort of switch between those often when I'm coloring, and then I can just click to fill. And if I wanted to change this color to any other color, I can just take the paint bucket, change the color, just click and fill again. Okay, now that we've got these selections on, we don't actually need this one. That was just a sample for if the line art wasn't so clean. We can start working on this. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and start labeling my layers. So I have line art, and then this would be the flat colors. And I'm going to make a new layer called the shadows. So we have shadows, flat colors, and line art. Now I'm going to select all these three, so I just pick one of the layers, hold down Shift, and then click the top, or I could have clicked the top and then hold down Shift and click the bottom, so it selects all of them, and I'm going to group them. So one way to group them is you could click this icon here, it looks like a folder, or just hit Control G, and that'll make a new group. And so this is my group for this character. And if you had multiple characters, you would have multiple groups. Or even for color variations, what I do is I duplicate the groups. So I have different groups and I spread them apart, and then I make the color variations like that. And I'll be doing that in this one as well, so you'll get to see that. But now what I want to do is I want to make it so everything in this group only affects this character. And there's a few different ways to do it. One way is using clipping masks. So if I just hit Alt and then click in between these two layers, what happens is this one clips down to that one. And so if I painted anything, it's only going to affect this character. The reason I don't like using this too much is after a while it becomes hard because you've got so many layers clipped down. And what if you want to clip something to a layer that's already clipped? Well, it becomes more of a hassle. So instead, what I do is I just select this. So to do that, you select the layer you want, and then see there's this icon, right? Hold down Control and click that, and then you'll get a selection of this. The same as if you use the magic wand and just clicked the green, and it would select all the green. And then I'm going to go to the group, the folder. So click on that where it says group 1. And then at the bottom here is a layer mask tool. So if you click that, what's going to happen is it's going to put it in a layer mask. And now anything I paint inside this folder, it's only going to affect stuff in this layer mask. See? Now what I could do is I could also invert this by hitting Control I, and then it'll be the opposite. So everything that's not this character is what gets painted. And that might be helpful if you ever wanted to do backgrounds, but it's not really important. I'm just going to reverse that, hitting Control I again. And I'm just going to clear these shadows. And now I'm going to make this layer set to multiply. So after this, I'm just going to be blocking in basic shadows, and I'm going to be using the lasso, switching between the polygonal and the normal lasso. And the color I like to use for the shadows, this really depends on what the lighting scheme is. Usually if you have warmer highlights, you want cooler shadows, and vice versa. But I tend to stick to sort of a warm gray. So it's going to be sort of desaturated. Not too dark, but not quite 50%, a bit lighter and a bit warmer. Something like this color. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to find where the shadow goes and then just Alt backspace to quickly fill that in. And so let's say, for instance, his head is going to be casting a shadow, and all this neck area is going to be in shadow. So I can just select around the area I want to be in shadow. And notice that the selection wasn't perfect, but that's okay because, again, you just hold Alt to subtract areas you don't want and Shift to add areas you do want. And then I can just fill that. And see, now that's in shadow. And of course, the color here, this green, that's not the color of the final, right? We don't want it green, but it really doesn't matter what this color is, especially not for this part, because we're going to change that. So, for example, I'm going to make it this color now. No problem. Because all I want to focus on right now is putting in the shadows, placing the shadows. So, let's say the inside of this vest might be in shadow. And really think about the bigger shadow shapes. You don't want to be getting really nitpicky at this point and, you know, thinking about each tiny little, you know, little shadow here or there. And for some things, the polygonal lasso tool is easier. So I could just select that. And that's all I'm doing.
Okay, so I'm still following along with that, but just a little thing is above this layer. I would like to put in a light, and then just use a paintbrush and switch it around. And my lighting source is going to be slightly yellow in the final, which is why I did the background that color. And then I just want to make an arrow and try to make it like a little 3D. So I know which direction my light is coming from, and if I ever get confused, I have this to revert back to. And it's on a separate layer, so it's not like it can hurt you. So yeah, I don't know if it's helpful for anyone else, but it's helpful for me. Let me see here. Yeah, okay. And we'll lock that and go back to our shadows. Oops.
So I'm selecting areas and then filling them in with Alt backspace.
Get a bigger picture here. I swear it was Alt. Oh, okay. I don't really have to be all that specific because I just remembered that we made a mask on this layer, so I'm just going to stop being so specific with it and make sure I get all of my outside lines. And I really want this to be sort of smooth. course, if this is coming around here. I don't know. Looks kind of smooth. Anyway. And he fills it, but you know, it's whatever. Sexy anyway. Let's see. Yeah, I really have to like back out to look at the larger highlights. Let's see here. Because this shape's like a triangle, so. Go ahead and sculpt that a tiny bit, but overall, I think that's fine for now. My stream stopped for a second. It's back. Oh no. Sorry about the interlude. No idea why I did that. Probably something I did. It's broken. It's usually because I broke it. I felt like I made a mistake there, so I just did the inverse. And yeah. And then, oops. Come here. And then I want to cross. And they're kind of bumpy, but it's okay. I'll go in and heal them. The nice hard round brush. I suppose this is where understanding form comes in. We're supposed to come come in super handy. Is my mic muted? Oh, I certainly hope not. I will check, 'cause that is usually something that happens. Don't know why, but my mic is very finicky. And it usually happens as soon as I start up Google Chrome, it gets muted. There's some kind of conflict with my stuff. Got little sections like that here and there, sure. Okay, and let's save this. And check out my audio. Let's go to that hardware and sound. It's not supposed to. So I don't know what it could be. Okay, back to this guy. So, I guess this is where understanding your shapes becomes really important. With understanding your own figure that you're drawing. I want to add this little corner bug here to my selection. And the teeth ain't super important, but they're going to be their own thing. And then this is like, I heard the snapping, but not my voice. I think it's because I'm talking too quiet. I have a friend of mine monitoring my stream. So this is like a little divot pocket, and then this stuff swoops this way, and where it would be round would be about here. So. So think about it logically. So you have a plane tucked in there. That's one. Oops. And then you have this under swoop. So So it'd curve around like that, and then you have like an oversweep. So. I just want this up and then back, like that there. And I still feel like this plane is heading this way, this plane is heading that way. So I'm just fill it, and then I'm gonna mess with it later. This little mess right here. Oops. So me personally, I like a hard brush, but he says it's best to use a soft brush with this technique. So we're going to refer to the master on this one. Yeah, there's like all kinds of curve. Blasting everything and I don't hear you. I think it's because I'm talking really quietly, because it's still kind of early and everybody's asleep in my house. So all of that gets light, but let's see here. So behind here doesn't get no light. It'll be easier for me to speak up once I have my own space to do this in. But for now, I gotta be conscious of other people. Those are what I would consider little highlights, or little shadows, but there would be a shadow here. I'll focus on the big stuff, so let's see here. Some curvature of the arm. What's going on here? Mess that all up. Guess that's why he's using the paint bucket tool, huh? So you don't have to do all that. Just do it his way, huh? Control D. Thank you, hun. Morning, sweet cheeks.
Hello.
Yeah. Fumble, fumble, fumble. Yeah, everybody's still sleeping, so I gotta be kind of more quiet than I usually would like. Let's see here. My web camera. Skype cannot connect to my web camera because I'm using it to stream. Well, I don't actually see my thing on stream, so is my head popped up?
Is your what?
Can you see my face on the open broadcast on the stream?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Even though it's a delay, right?
Yeah.
I guess on watching work, they don't really need to see my sleepy yawny face, so we can take that off. Alright. Just giving me all kinds of errors because it can't see me. It's just like, wait, where are you? Skype is confused. Hi. Yeah. So let's see here. Come on. I like this so far. I like this technique so far.
Now your face is gone
Now my face is gone.
from the stream.
Oh. Yep, it's quite the delay.
Oh, he's looking so cool.
Is he? I gotta refine, of course, like the lines and stuff are not like crispy. I want them to be crispy. But they have a nice function with the pen tool where you can select in a curve, and that's what I'll do to refine that stuff.
Okay.
Or at least they do in GIMP. I'm positive if GIMP has it, then Photoshop has it. But that might just be blind faith talking. What'd you have for breakfast?
Coffee.
Just coffee. Yeah. I don't eat as soon as I get up either.
Did you have food yet?
No.
Yeah.
I can't eat as soon as I get up. I gotta have caffeine.
Yeah. Same as me. Caffeine and nicotine.
Because I'm trying to break that nicotine thing. It's like I go like 2 weeks without a cigarette, and then it's just like, man, I really want one today, so I'm gonna have one because you know, stuff and things. And even though I'm not supposed to be getting caught up in these little shadows, I would consider this a little shadow. I'm gonna do it anyway, 'cause I can. Let's see here, and then let's take a look back.
Sounds good.
Oops, almost made a mistake there. Don't need none of that. Curvature, curvature. This is a triangle, so it would be this bottom half just barely. I forgot what he said the quick tool for, or the quick fill thing was. I think it's like, I don't know, it's too many keys. Sycra's been doing it for too long. The package you're waiting on today, is that your tablet? Eric? The package you're waiting on today, is that your tablet? Oh my. Was it that quiet?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was asking if the tablet, or yeah, if your tablet was what you were waiting on in the mail today. Word.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's coming today before lunch. If not, I gotta wait a whole fucking week to get it to the post office.
It's no bueno. I don't want it.
Everything closes for Easter.
That is no bueno. I hope not. I hope not. I'm glad I did all that, and then I gotta add to it anyways. Psh. Don't be a joke. What's up? Hoorah. Let's see here. I think that's all the major ones, really. Might be some little bit right here. There's some minor ones I haven't really done, like in the foot area and stuff like that.
What about his chin? Double chin?
On top of the chin?
No, under. Oh,
Oh.
you got the one. Yeah.
Yeah, the triangle shape about there.
Mm.
There's a couple ones. There's some in the eye that I haven't done. Around here about the nose. Like behind the mustache needs a shadow. But I don't know. I want to see what else he's talking about so I can get all into it.
Yeah.
Because I can't, like, get caught up in the details while I'm following along with the tutorial. You know how I love getting caught up in details.
Oh, yeah.
And there's like a minor one in around the eye and the bag, hands, toes. But either way. And also, I like the color that I chose for the shadow. I don't know why. It looks really saturated to me. Anyway. Alright, let's see what else this food talking about. I cited him, like, in all of the videos. But I hope he doesn't mind. He seems like a kind of guy that wouldn't mind, but you never know. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna drop him an email and ask him if it's okay. Just to, be on the safe side. You know what I mean?
That's smart.
Because I hate like name dropping people, like or I feel bad name dropping people without
Yeah.
their permission. Because what if they don't want to be affiliated with this or that? You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
you're not really giving him a choice. So if he doesn't want to be cited, I'll take his name out of the titles and I'll take the audio out and stuff like that.
Yep.
All right, I have to lotion my cocoa butter. It's like cold weather plus the poor water we have.
Ah.
Um, Fort Bragg's always doing something. It's always changing up our water. Anywho's, let's see what he's got.
Let's say there's a cast shadow that the vest is casting onto his body. There we go. And I'm not going to bore you by doing all this in real time. I'll block the rest of it in time lapse, but you get the idea, right? You're just selecting with the lasso and then blocking in the major shadow shapes. And you could actually make multiple layers. So right now we have one shadow layer, but let's say I created another one, set it to multiply, just above. Then what I could do is, let's say I wanted areas that are even darker, so maybe a shadow underneath his neck. Well, just do that. And fill it. And there, so now I've got like the second level of shadows.
So Sycra is an awesome artist, but as far as coloring look goes, like a final look, I have another artist that I like to refer to. So when he's talking about like doing a double shadow like that, it's like I don't want to immediately jump in and do that because I don't know if that's eventually what I want. Something that I eventually want is something like this. So I'm gonna inspect hers and see if, besides the hair, because hair follows different rules, right? If this is like the look I want, so I'm look see if like that's what she did, and it's not. She kept it to single shadows. So this is my idol. I talk about her a lot. Hellcorp CEO, and I'll send her an email too. See if she was okay with me saying that and showing her art. Anyway.
For now, I'm gonna stick with just. I like to do all first pass of shadows and then go in and find all the second level shadows.
So he's going in and doing all the like hair and stuff like that. Oops. And come back here. He's like really clean with his selection and stuff. So it's really nice looking. Do I want to do that right now? No, I want to get done with the tutorial and then I'll go back in and make everything look good. Hopefully, we'll see. Alright, and I don't need to watch the time lapse. Alright, let's see about the flat colors.
Okay, so I got the main shadows in and added a few secondary shadows, and now it's time to color the thing. So I don't like to color with the shadows on. I like to turn off the shadows and then color it, so now all I have to worry about is the colors, and then the shadows will be there. No matter what color I pick, for instance, like, let's just say, I just put down that color, and I put the shadow layer, you can see it just changes to suit whatever color is underneath. So I'm going to turn off the shadows, and now the next thing I have to do is think about what color temperature I'm going to be in, whether it's more warm or cool. And this is important because I'm going to change all the other colors, or I'm going to base all the other colors on that major temperature. And I'm going to make that, whatever that mood temperature is, that's going to be my background color. So I'm going to hit the colorize button, and what I did is I just went to the background, the white layer underneath everything, and hit Control U, which brings up this hue saturation panel, And I'm going to hit colorize. And now I'm going to lower the lightness and increase the saturation to whatever I want. And I'm going to find the color that will work for this.
Oh, yay.
So this is really up
You gonna head off?
I'm gonna check the buses first.
Gotcha.
to you. Personally, I go for more warms. I like to base things closer to a warm just whenever I color in general. Even when my shadows just end up being more warm. And you want something that's not too bright, but not too dark either. And that way you'll have something that you can base both the value and the color on. And the value is really just how light or how dark things are. So now that we have this background, we can actually go ahead and start blocking in areas. And this method, it's
Well, first of all, I want the circular color thing.
Missed my bus for 3 minutes.
You missed a bus by 3 minutes?
Next one is 2 hours.
Oh my goodness. It's like they timed that for you. Sorry, dear. Let's see here. Alright. Looks like I gotta stop and look for another tutorial on how to bring up my circular color thingy in Photoshop. But I have no idea how to bring that up. Because, I don't know, it's easier for me to select on the circular color wheel, and I have no idea what that's called in here. You're really low. Or is it me? Hold on, let me check. It's probably me.
No, it's good.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to buy it.
Alright.
It's really loud. You guys are getting it.
Oh, I see. Yes, that's what I want. The triangle color wheel. Ah, it doesn't come with Photoshop. That's awesome. That's magic. That's magic right there.
It's an extension you have to.
Either buy or something. That would be fine even with this one. Magic picker. Oh my. I don't know if I want to mess with all of that this early in the morning. Not really sure where I should install it, so I'm just gonna put it in a temp folder and then move it. Good to know, good to know. No, no, no. Practice, temp, color wheel. Okay, that's where I want it.
Oh, you found one too.
Yeah, I don't know how great it is, but we'll see. Alright, so where do I put this? Okay, there's a readme. I love those. Horrible format. Always. Plugins. Alright. Place the painter's wheel folder inside the plugins. Alright. Oh boo. Oh, I love Photoshop. Oops. Where's that? Oh, there it is. Oh my goodness. Window extensions. Here's some files. Nope. Well, let's save it and then restart it and see if that works. If not, then we're just gonna have to wing it. I must not have done it right. Painter's wheel menu item. Nope. Oh, because it's in a panels. Yep, I didn't do it right. So let's try that again. That's not the right folder. My computer is crashing. What? Nope. Alright, looks like it's just not compatible with my version of Adobe. It says it is, but It's not worth messing with. Delete. I will just have to do it the hard way. Anyway, let's bring back up Photoshop and see what Sycra's talking about.
Pretty quick when you start blocking in things, and it only gets faster the more you block in colors, and you'll see why that is. So I'm gonna just start blocking in. Let's say I start with the hair. Okay, so I'm just gonna select around the hair, and see, I can select all the way around the hair because I only need to worry about what's inside this main shape. So I can select around the hair, and for this I'm actually going to switch to the polygonal lasso. So again, it just depends. You know, if you see a lot of straight lines, like in this I see quite a few straight lines, then the polygonal lasso might be better. If it's more open, more organic, then the regular lasso tool will do the trick just nicely. And I'm going to time lapse through this as well, but I like to do at least a few parts in real time, just so you can get a sense of it. With this sort of purplish, sort of warm tone. You can think that way. You can just adjust it. The lasso, just to do everything.
He was about to go into the color wheel, selecting of the colors. I could tell. I watched a lot of his tutorials. I skipped it a little bit because I can tell he was going in on a little bit of the color wheel thing, and I don't have the color wheel, so there's no reason to watch all that. Okay. Oh, okay, so we time lapse the colors and then overlay effects. Let's look at this.
Okay, so now the flat colors are done, and I can go ahead and turn on the shadow layers and see how it just matches whatever color is underneath.
I want to add a tummy color for him. I think. I don't know. We're gonna see. Oops. I'm really sorry you missed your bus. I want the tummy to be like a little bit more yellow, maybe? Let's see how that one looks. It's not bad. having bad luck. You think you're going crazy. New life waiting. There's a little bit there. Yeah, so you and my mom were kind of on the same page last night.
Sorry?
Said you and my mom were kind of on the same page last night, yesterday, however you want to say it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
She caught me when I was going to go smoke a cigarette. She's like, come here for a second.
Oh, this is cool.
What you looking at?
The color wheel extension.
I know, right? I wish I could find one that worked. And was free. That'd be nice. I don't know. Maybe hair more green. Yeah, that looks a little better. Nice and happy and saturated. And it's messy, but it's okay. I got plenty of cleanup time. So anyway. Okay, let's look at overlays.
So now what I want to do is, I had this purple background, and that was so I could judge the colors accurately, but I don't need it to be purple anymore. You could change this to whatever you wanted. So I'm just going to turn it to white, and now you can see how really brings everything together, and the character really pops out. So there's just a few more steps. One thing I could do is I could add a ground shadow, and the way I could just do that in very simple ways. I'm just going to make an ellipse on the ground. This isn't accurate, but it's effective. And then just fill it with like a gray color. And then I'm going to go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Just going to add a slight blur to that. So it's not...
Yeah, your mom is a smart one.
You're not just saying that because y'all agree, huh?
Mm-hmm.
We create a new layer. He did. Outside of the color group. I don't know, but like, it's just kind of also being truthful. Like, I don't really have time to be working on stuff for people for free, especially if you're never grateful for anything I do anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know if you've ever worked on art for someone before, and like, they're never happy with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
She's one of those. And then it's not even like even all my efforts would be used anyway. Like she pretends to do work, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You know anybody like that? Like, have you ever met anybody like that? That's like big britches, as they say it down here. I want it to be like a green gray. Maybe not that dark. Deselect, and then he wants a Gaussian blur. Oh my gosh, my kitty cat is dying outside. I gotta go get him. Or he wakes up the whole universe. I'm not too happy with that, but I guess it's a pretty simple, semi-effective way of making a cast shadow. Anyway, I'll be right back. Maybe I didn't place it right, is why I'm not happy with it. Probably I didn't place it right. Anyway. It's a good thing I got up when I did, because I forgot I'd boiled eggs for his breakfast, because we're out of cat food. And, yeah, it had like a hair's breadth of water left in it, like, just barely. Alright, yeah, because of where the shadow is, yes, that's what it was. I just placed it improperly, that's why I don't like it that much. Or, I mean, where the light source is. Let's just do it again. You have plenty of time to pick up your package before the post office closes, right?
Yep.
Okay. I'm a worrier, so I'm probably more worried about it than you are. I said I'm a worrier, so I'm probably more worried about it than you are. Alright, let's see here.
That's work.
Maybe darker is why. I like it about there. It's not too bad. Okay, moving on.
So crisp, and then I can just lower the opacity until it feels right. So maybe something like that's fine. And then I'm gonna add a layer, and I can do this above or below the line art. It's up to you. I like to do it above the line art because I like the line art to be affected as well. But this is going to be a special layer that is going to add color variation. So we're going to set this from normal to overlay. And now I'm going to take a big soft brush. So this is where the soft brush comes into play. And it's really important that it's big. And I want to use a light touch with this. So if you're not very comfortable with your tablet, you might want to lower the opacity. For me, I'm okay with my tablet, so I don't really have to do that. And I'm going to think about where the light's coming from. So the light's coming from the top down. So I'm thinking the top's going to be lighter, and then maybe the feet and up it's going to be darker. So I'm going to start with maybe a darker purple. I'm going to lightly go from the bottom up to about halfway. And you can see before and after. And I'm going to take maybe a warm yellow and go from the top down.
I see what he's saying. I don't know about that. We'll see. He's the expert. We'll see. Oh, I guess that does look good. Okay, he is the expert.
So now there's some variation. You can see how that really does make a difference. And you can always add different color variations. Like I could add some blue into the shorts if I wanted. You can add like any color, it's up to you. It's really whatever you feel like doing.
Which I'll probably use that on the
eye.
eye.
Of the color. Just take a gray, and that sort of gets rid of some of the effects. So I felt it was getting a bit too dark near the middle, maybe a bit too light at the face. And maybe we could lighten up the tops of the shoes. That's catching the light. So there, now we've got some color variation, and you can see that really the difference between that, it's like, yeah, it's kind of finished, and then that just adds a lot more to it, and it tricks you into thinking there's a lot more going on than there really is. So yeah, that's the next step. And then from there, if I wanted, I could add some highlights on the metallic surfaces, and all you want to do for that is just click on the flat layers, select your metal. So in this case, just make sure the contiguous is off, because if it was on, then let's say I just select this, it's only going to select this area. But you want to make sure contiguous is off, so it'll select all your layers. And then you can make a new layer above the flat colors, set it to color dodge mode, and then beside, see this name, layer 3, well, we can rename it to shiny, and click beside that to the right of it, double click, and it'll open this layer style window. And then there's these two boxes under advanced blending. You just want to uncheck.
Hold on a second. I think we'll go to the teacup for this. Well, actually I can just... Yeah, contiguous is on. I don't know if I want to call this highlights or overlay. Let's see here. Shiny. Then set it to color dodge. And then go into the properties. And uncheck blend the clip layers and transparency for some reason. What we're gonna hear.
Boxes. So none of these boxes are checked. Click OK. And now you can pick whatever color you want. Because it's set to color dodge, the darker the color, the less effect it's going to have. So it's going to allow you to be more gradual. So what I mean is, let's say I took a very bright white. See, that's going to blow out that color really fast. But if I pick a dark, it's going to go much slower, and it gives me a lot more control. So I actually want to use
Ooh.
a darker color, and I'm going to be making strokes that, again, using a soft brush that are just, you know, straight up and down horizontal, or very, very almost like tapping, and gently adding to this, and can get some highlight here.
That
So I
is
want it to
right.
subtly add on.
I think
And
I
I
know
start
why.
with a bigger brush, like so. Just get in like the big amount, and then I shrink.
And I think I know why. I think it's because here we need to clear our little section. Still coming out kind of green. I think it's because the base color on this is green. Flats. And I want it to be like sort of like a porcelain teacup, so. I see why he's using a huge round brush of this one. It's like the only way to get soft. Like this. Let's see here. Yeah. It's like super easy to blow that out. That should be that, a little bit down there. I don't know, I gotta go in and play with this, but I see what he's saying. So what are you gonna do for the next 2 hours besides let me entertain you?
I'm trying to get some brushes.
I used to have a lot of fun making my own brushes back in the day. I don't even remember how to do it in Photoshop now.
I'm not sure if I'm putting it in the right spot either, but I'll see.
There's like a bajillion Photoshop tutorials. You'll get it, like super easy. A bajillion, a bajillion.
Yeah, I'm just not sure if I'm using the right plugin folder. I'll see.
Yeah, it's too early for me to puzzle that out right now.
Yeah. Me too.
And let's see here. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't look great, but it's getting there. I'm getting the main idea. That's really what I wanted to focus on. So, yay for clean line art. It's making my tutorial easier. They opened up the fairgrounds yesterday.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, not the fairgrounds. I'm sorry, the carnival stuff yesterday. Fairgrounds are huge. The carnivals are tiny, and they pop up like in parking lots and things. My mom's like okay friends with the carny lady. I think they call themselves carnies, so it's okay. Anyways, I really like how that's coming out. I mean, it's not clean or anything, but
Shrink the brush, and to shrink the brush, you can use the square bracket keys beside the letter P.
I see what he did there. Okay. Okay. Yes. All right.
Keyboard. And that'll start to look somewhat metallic. And then areas I don't want it, like in the shadow, you can just erase those out. you can do that to other parts. Again, starting with a bigger brush and then sort of getting smaller as you go. And that'll create a smoother gradient.
Oh, I was thinking of doing a whole bunch of stuff with
Erasing
texture,
where you
but
don't want
now
that
I'm
effect.
thinking I just want to fake paint it in there or cell. We'll see.
And there's no rule saying you have to do this or don't have to do this. It's just, I just want to show some of the options. So you could have that if you wanted, but if you don't like that effect, you don't need it as well. It's up to you. Or you could just make a new layer like the shadows, and instead of setting it to multiply, you could set it to screen and then just block in highlights the same way. So let's just do that for example. New layer, set it to screen. Again, selecting my lasso.
Okay. So let's go here and make it invisible. And let's do my and new layer. What's up? What? So what's up? What? What you looking at? What?
Looking at your stream. At your fancy dino.
My fancy dinosaur. I don't know if I want it to be. I don't know what color I want the highlights to be. Let's play with this one. Nope, I don't like that. Nope. Nope. I don't know. Maybe I just don't like the color. Gee.
Yasin.
Thank you, dear. Wow.
That's kind of loud.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm just gonna take.
I don't know. Yeah, thank you.
I'm just gonna take 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
Okay, dear.
And then let's just say I wanted some rim light on the side of this arm. Well, just select that. And then take color, fill it, and you'll get some light. So it's looking weird because there's no light everywhere else, but if I had light everywhere else on the body, that wouldn't look so weird. Okay, so now that that's done, we can start thinking about variation. Okay, so this is where this technique is really effective, and that is in making multiple iterations of the same character. So let's say I wanted to try out different color schemes and things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crop this, and instead of cropping it, when you hit the crop tool, you can actually expand as well. I'm just going to give enough room for a few variations. And I'm just going to fill the background with white. And now all I have to do is take this group that we have and hit Control J to duplicate it, and I can just move that. So I'm holding down the V key. Press V for move, and then I click the character, hold down Shift, and then I can move it, and it'll stay in a straight line. And I can just do that a few times. Let's just make 4 of them. And do the same for the shadows as well. Just place those. Okay. And if I want to move it, so I have a bit more space, I can just do that. Just select the group, and then I control click to also select the shadow. And then just move it like that. Okay, there we go. And now, this one's the first one. Let's say this one's done. So that one is version 1. So let's do version 2 right now. So I'm just going to open it. And now all we need to change is this layer that says flat colors. And because of the way we've done this, we don't even have to use the magic wand and select anything, although you could. But let's say I just wanted this to be this red. Let's say I wanted it to be this color instead. Well, just click, and now everything that was red is now yellow. So it's really that simple. If you're not as confident and you want to change a color ever so slightly, or maybe not even slightly, you just want to experiment, what you can do is use the magic wand and click the color, and then hit Control U, and that brings up the hue saturation, and then just slide to get the color you want. Maybe something like that. And change the metal. And if it's gray, you want to hit colorize. So the last thing I want to cover is just a little bit of presentation. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to add a bit of a gradient coming from the top down behind them. Something like that. So it just sort of brings things together. If that's a bit too much, you just pull back with the opacity a bit. And it's not, I mean, it's just minor things to up the presentation a little bit. And finally, coloring the line art. Now, you don't need to do this if you don't want. It's a very optional step. But let's say, for instance, with this.
Having bad luck. You think you're going crazy. Look, look, there's a new life waiting. You best bet him and say. You've been dealt the wrong hand. Feel, 'cause only thing know that is real. Oh, that's why. visible. And I got that one. So I'm pretty sure he's going to say to lock layer transparency. Let's
This
see.
guy, he has light hair, so maybe. Let's see if I can find this guy. Is it this one? Yeah. So if I wanted to color the line art, the way I would do it is I would make a new layer above the line art and clip it down. So again, hold Alt and or Option on a Mac and go in between the two layers, and then your cursor turns to this down arrow thing. And now this is clipped down. And now I like to personally use the pencil tool and just make it the right size. And I pick a color, or I just pick the shadow color, and then just start coloring directly over it. And
Yeah,
so
but doesn't this do
there,
the
so
same thing?
now
Yeah, it does.
the hair is a lighter color, and it's just got to be darker than the original color, and you can go lighter as well. It depends what effect you're going for. But usually if the thing is light, like the hair, I go for a bit darker, and if the thing is very dark, then I'll go a bit lighter. And you could do this for the skin too. Let's color that in. And it's really up to you, but it does give you a different look. See? If I turn that on and off, you can see the before and after, right? And another thing you can do with this technique, which is kind of cool, you see it almost looks like a cutout now with that colored line art, but another thing you can do is actually just remove the line art entirely, and it's okay. I mean, if I was gonna do that, something you could do is see, like, some parts are okay, like the clothing, but then other parts, like the eyes, really does help to have the line art. So then what I would do is I would add a mask, and then I would fill that with black.
Sometimes Sycra,
So I got rid of.
sometimes he gets like he does like a complicated method to accomplish something.
Mm-hmm.
So right now he's talking about like coloring the lines in your liner, and he's like creating clipping masks and stuff like that, and that's all cool, but you don't have to do that. You can just like lock your layer transparency and then do it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I don't know, like maybe it's just because I'm not like super good with masks and stuff like that. I don't really like doing it that way. I like doing it this way. And I don't really don't like that. Change it back. It's cool for like the shadows though, to make the line look darker or a different color.
Mm-hmm.
Because to me it looks like it adds rim light on like fake rim light. You know what I'm saying? I guess I'll have to see it when I get to that, but well, maybe not all the way down there. Really care. So to me it does the same thing as like his little rim light technique over here, except for I think it does it like neater. But yeah, I don't like it blowing up my line art like that. I like cartoony line art. Let's go for highlights, I think. See that? And then his nose wig would be a white cream. times. I didn't close it somewhere, so it's not going to be neat. Oh well. It won't kill me to sculpt it. I don't like that. Yeah, it needs work, but it's fine. Okay, so that's Sycra's technique, huh? I like it. Some tweaks to make it a little bit mine, but otherwise, it's good. And then there's a thanks for watching portion that I don't think I need to watch. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm gonna save this for reference. And then oops, not that one. This one? It was. Okay, cool. What did I do with my layers? Oh my lord. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I didn't really make any mistakes like that I need to correct using his technique versus what I was already doing. So, cool. What time is it? Let's see here. 7. Just like thinking about which part I want to do next, whether or not I want to keep selecting all the wood or.
I think doing the bookshelves first might open up the.
Yeah, I want all the books to be different colors. Like not every single book, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But he did make a good point. If I click this and then create. Yeah, it doesn't really work with big line art like that. That's fine. Come on. So, what are you gonna work on first? I'm excited to know. You gonna work on a Twitch, or are you just gonna work on some personal art? There.
Working on Twitch?
Yeah, are you gonna stream on Twitch, or are you gonna work on personal art?
No, I'm not gonna stream.
You're not gonna be a streamer.
I don't think people wanna see me struggle.
Somehow they want to watch me struggle. I think that's pretty astonishing. What is this? What is this? Oh, I have anti-aliasing on. That's why. There are some inconsistent dots or something. You know, now I think about how much time I'm taking on this. I actually didn't have to. I could have actually just blotted out the whole bookshelf in brown. Thanks, Sycra. You're gonna save me some time. My keys are sticky. I'm kind of mad at myself for not realizing that earlier, but it's alright. I'm like mad because my keyboard that I got, so I wouldn't have to use the keyboard on my laptop. The keys are sticky, and I got some alcohol yesterday, but I haven't cleaned it yet. Oh Lord, this again. What am I hitting? I don't know why it's doing that, but oh well. There's always a simpler way than the way I do it. Let's just see here. I think I missed some on that.
Guess it's all about finding the right tutorial to watch.
At least it is for me. Some of this I'm gonna have to paint because it's being a douche. Don't know why. My bucket tool is still acting like I have it on contiguous.
Yeah, but that's minute details on a big background.
Yeah, but it's the base color for the wood, so I wanted to have a clean line. Blah blah. And if I get it in there now, I don't have to go back and refine it later, and that's laziness talking, so yeah. And there's like all these little dotty things that, yeah, I'm gonna do much later. Because my dinosaur had it too. Right, I was missing like gaps and stuff. Let's see here. Come on. I need a new tip on my tablet, or on my pen. I wanted to wait until I was like doing commissions and making money to get it, but oh Lord, would you just close already? But I think I need a new one sooner than that, so I'm gonna have to ask my mom if I can have one of hers. I don't know if she'll say yes, but I'll ask. Alright, and then there's like some overlap over here, but I can draw on top of it, so I'm not worried about that. definitely gonna spend too much time on the walls. I can already tell you right now, because I want to do wallpaper. But I think if I find a good tutorial on making brushes, I'll do one section and then stamp it all the way across. And that'll save some time. What are you gonna do for breakfast? Or lunch, actually, by the time we eat. It'll be lunchtime.
I think I'm gonna get a breakfast, what do you call it? Sandwich at the store.
Where do you go for, like, do you go to, like, McDonald's for a breakfast sandwich? Or do you go to, like, a local
No,
store?
we have like a local grocery market here that has all this stuff.
That sounds good. I think I'll make one. Here at
They
my
have
house.
these, I don't know, healthy sandwiches.
Oh,
You
well,
mean?
go ahead.
Sorry?
No, what were you saying?
No, they have these pre-made healthy sandwiches with lettuce and stuff. Fresh made.
That's good.
Mhm.
Yeah. When you said breakfast sandwich, my mind was like, oh yeah. And then you said healthy. I was like, oops, that's the opposite of what I'm gonna do. Mine's gonna have cheddar cheese and hash browns with butter and am I missing something in there? I feel like I'm missing wood or something in there. I don't know. Nope, it's completely covered. Okay. That I'm gonna color like paint because I want it rope. So anyway, yeah, hash browns and cheese, maybe some bacon and egg, and I don't know. We have mushrooms. I might like mix stuff up in my eggs just to ruin the illusion of health. To tell you the truth, I'm not sure if I want these to be wood or if I want them to be gold, but it's easier to select them if they have a solid color, so. Look at that. Gotta come in and fix that. Like gilded frames or something. I don't know. Depends on how much time I end up taking.
I usually paint mine silver or gray. It's the easiest. I'm lazy like that.
But I spend too much time on my background, so maybe something in between. What I want and what I'll get. But I just left that as a notation that I wanted something there, I think. Let's see here. Wood. Okay. And then metal. It's getting tedious really fast, but no more tedious than doing my lines. Let's see here for the metal. Do gray. will certainly come back and add more care later. Mm-hmm. Shaky. All my lines are shaky. It's okay. I'll come back and do some cleanup. It'll be alright. There we go. Throwing down some base colors. I wish my brain was like on and I would have something to talk about. But my brain's not on. I'm just mindlessly coloring.
I think after lunch we'll have the energy.
Your lunch, my breakfast. It'll be like
Yeah.
9 o'clock. Oh my lord. I make the dumbest mistakes sometimes. But I think on my next stream I'm gonna scan in that button and work on that. Oh, wait, no I didn't. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know why I chose gray for the metal now I think about it. Like 90% of the metal in here is gonna be gold. Just wasn't thinking.
That should be easy to change afterwards.
Yeah. Oops.
If you put them on a separate layer.
Yeah, I put all the metal on a separate layer. I knew I'd make a mistake somehow, so thinking ahead.
Mm-hmm.
At least you can learn from my mistakes. So what time did you get up this morning?
Early, can't remember. 8? 8:30, something like this.
Didn't you go to bed after 1 o'clock?
Just after 2.
You need like physical exercise to wear you out?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something in those lines, yeah.
Yeah. It's really hard for me to go to sleep sometimes. Like if I didn't get up early and have a full day because I sit so much. I have so much energy. Like before all of this, I like moved constantly, like from the time I
Mm-hmm.
got up to the time I went to bed. So it'd be easy to fall asleep, you know. One bit at a time. Oh well. Went to the store and stuff yesterday, so I guess I got some outside time. Went to Walmart and bought my phone card. And what else did I buy? Cheese and crackers. And some creamer for my coffee. And that was all. All of my outside time. I got up this morning and went outside with my sister, and it was like so bright. I was like, "Who the hell has their back porch light on?" It was the moon, because the sky is clear for the first time in like weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh goodness. I think I want that to be like metal, and like this to be person. This side object nonsense that doesn't make any sense. I bet you Matt went to bed at like 3 o'clock in the morning or something.
If he ever went to bed.
If he ever went to bed. I just don't understand how he still runs some days. Like, no food, no sleep. I'd be up the wall. He was killing me yesterday with grinding his teeth. Like, it was so bad yesterday. Oh my god. I told him like 3 times while we were like Skyping and chatting. I was gonna reach through the monitor and smack him if he didn't stop. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he was like, "Well, turn down your audio." I just looked at him. And he was like, "I'm sorry. I can't help it." Like, you damn well can. Grown man. I like how the little turtle feet turned out. I hope the rest of it turns out okay.
Where was it? The center right compartment wall to the left.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like there's a couple of lines that shouldn't be there.
Let me look. Let's see here. The center right compartment with the vase looking thing.
Let your stream catch up. There it is, yeah.
This thing.
You see the almost horizontal line behind the base going through the walls.
Behind the vase, going through the wall. Oh, right there.
And the one on top. Above, sorry.
Okay. What I was thinking there. Might have been thinking that I was gonna crop that, but I don't know. Better safe than sorry. What? What is going on here? Why don't you? bet you it will let me do this. No, it won't. What in the world is going on? Glad I found that out. What in the world is going on? No? Wow. Something's going on with my line art.
Oh my god.
What the flippity flapjacks?
Could destroy your drawing now?
Yep. It's time to fucking trash it. Like, whole damn thing.
And so,
Select, deselect. What time is it? 7:15. Quitters never win, so let's look and see what my problem should be. God damn you, fuck away. Photoshop cannot alter line art. Oh, that would be so gay. And that's probably exactly what it is. I guarantee you it's exactly what that is. That's my problem. I is retarded. Trash can. Oh Lord, sometimes. This is why coffee is important in everyday life. Which is exactly what it was. Yep. That's what it was. I had a selection somewhere.
mm-hmm.
I slay myself sometimes. I've been neater to just control select that stuff. Lord in heaven. Okay. That was so stressful, that moment. It's just so stressful. Ah. Okay. Okay, and back to drawing board. this has to be supremely boring to watch. You have such discipline, Eric.
Discipline? Me?
Mm-hmm. Like, you can concentrate on certain things for a really long time. Me and Matt were talking about that last night, remember? Like, I can't watch somebody draw for too long without drawing. You know? And I think that's also why you have such great opinions on like composition and piece and stuff like that. Like, you can give us really nice points in the right direction because you watch so much. You know?
I try to suck in the important stuff.
Like, literally the only thing you're missing is mileage, and you would be, I think, beyond me and Matt.
That's the goal. It's gonna take some time to get there.
Yeah, I mean, but there's a bunch of ways to get mileage really quickly. Like, iterative drawing, that works for, like, you know, analytical people like me, but just like the 20 face thing that Matt was doing, stuff like that. That helps you get mileage really quickly. So, like, drawing all the time. Or painting, or whatever. All of it's the same thing.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how I can make my own brushes.
But little I remember in high school, I was like, oh wow, so much fun. And now that I have all the time in the world, I think I'm going to. Do you know what comic print is? Did you read any mangas?
You mean the style, or?
Like, you know how, like, in manga they use like the same sort of flowers over and over again, or yeah, they use letter repeating textures and stuff. That stuff comes on sheets called comic print, and in the professional industry they use, like, you know, $7 sheets, just like whatever, you know. But I got some on sale and I have them in my trunk, and I was always going to scan them and make brushes out of them for my comic books. Never had the time. Now I have the time, so I think that's what I'll do. I think I wanted that to be fabric inside that circle. Here. So, if I get a nice, good, healthy bit of brushes, I will give them to you.
I think as soon as I start making them, push them all to you as well. If they're any good.
That. All brushes are useful for something. Even like random little dot brushes are great for like hair and splatter and stuff, you know? Oh, Snoot. Oh, goodness. Come here, you. Oh, Lord, look at that. Such a mess. Okay. I suppose this is faster than going in and coloring it. I suppose. Time will tell which way I prefer, the lasso or just coloring it. Because there's so much cleanup involved with this method. You know what I mean? I guess for me,
Yeah.
not for somebody like Sycra, who's been doing it forever and ever.
I mean, after a while, it's gonna be
Preferably.
easier, less cleanup.
Yeah, I hope.
As soon as you get some food in you, you're gonna be boss.
Yep, that was the problem. Not enough protein. Lady needs some protein. And I forgot some wood right here. Maybe I want to make it a metal frame. I think I want to make it a metal frame. Because it's surrounded by all this wood. Yes, the hunger is real. It's actually like some decently straight lines. Come here. I'm thinking, whoa, what in the, oh my goodness. Thinking I'm gonna do stone with metal accents instead of straight up metal, but I think it'll be fine to put it on this layer for now. So I want this to be like, oh, you saw it in the sketch, I want this to be like scrolly sort of metal, aka a brush, stamping it, shifting it slightly to the left and stamping it again.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds so lazy to say it that way.
But it's how the pros do it, right?
It's true. It's very true. Does everybody around you, or everybody who lives around you, are they all Norwegian, or are there like lots of nationalities living around you?
I think the most part it's Norwegians and Polish people.
Polish people?
Yeah.
Is Poland part of Scandinavia? No.
No. Poland has had a. They've been struggling financially for a while. So it's been very popular for them to come up here and work. Because they're part of EU, it's easier for them to come here and get a well-paid job.
Is it like bad like Greece in their country?
Sorry?
Is it bad like Greece in their country? All we hear about is how bad like financially Greece is.
Yeah, it sort of is.
What's that about? Were they like putting too much money into their welfare system or something? Or is it like what caused their economic downfall recently, or is it just a bunch of compounding problems?
You know, to be honest, I really don't have a clue why it's so bad. I haven't been paying enough attention to my in my news and my.
It's okay. I don't watch the news. I would not have even known about Belarus until maybe like 10 o'clock at night if it hadn't been for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's when my mom came and said, hey, is Eric okay? Something happened in Europe. And I told her we already asked you.
Yeah. No, I usually read my news on the phone in the morning when I get up. And whenever I'm not goofing around with you, I tend to watch the news like 2 or 3 days, a couple of times a day.
Here, there's so much fabricated, like false news that I stopped watching the news. It's just not worth getting hyped up over something that's probably not even true. And then when they do report on the real news, they don't even get the facts right, and it's like weeks after it happens.
No, I still think here in Europe, like 60% of the news is somewhat doctored and fabricated, and to sell papers and stories. But
So just like here, but probably not as I don't know. Maybe it's extreme. I don't know.
not to the extreme that I've seen examples of in the States.
There's like the National Enquirer is a huge false news, like not like the Onion where it's like purposefully made out of the box so that people could not barely, you know what I mean? Like there's no way anybody could believe that, you know. But they try to make themselves like a legit news source, and only old people play for that now. Like my grandmother in Chicago, she reads the National Enquirer like it's the Bible. Like, oh my God, did you know Oprah had a twin? I'm like, Grandma, Oprah does not have a twin. I read it in the Enquirer. Grandma, I know where you read it. You didn't have to tell me that. Like, you don't get on the internet. There's only one place you could have gotten something like that from.
Here it's still making 5 chickens out of a chicken feather, but not to this extreme.
That's
Like,
a really cute
straight out lying.
I'm not bored with this at all. I'm not ready to be done at all.
I can tell. I can tell.
Much to do. My microphone cannot pick up my voice, but it can pick up a fly landing in my suit. Like, I don't understand it. Like, I can hear my stylus scratching through the headphones.
Mm-hmm. It might be a noise filter that's adjusted wrong.
Yeah, I should take off the auto filter stuff if I knew how. I could Google it, but I am lazy.
Isn't there like gain dial on your microphone? Like physically on the microphone?
Nope.
Okay.
No buttons. No buttons.
It's usually on the mid to high range. There's. Oh, hang on. I gotta take this.
Okay. What's up?
You saw my struggles?
It looked like you were working or something.
Yeah. They were calling for work.
They need you to work like right now? Or they just need to ask you some questions because they couldn't figure
No,
it
I'm
out?
sick from work, so I don't have to. No, it's just a service call. They need help with some stuff. Crap. I don't know. So I just have to text my boss and say, hey, get your ass out of the chair and go take it.
Go do your job.
So he said, okay,
That's awesome.
thank you very much. My bus is leaving in 15 minutes.
He's leaving? Oh, your bus is leaving.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I am going to cut this just a couple minutes early and eat some food because I can't even concentrate. I'm hungry.
You know what?
Hmm.
That's probably the best idea you got so far today.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like getting lazier and lazier because I'm like, I'm hungry.
Yeah, there's no way, no point in pushing yourself too much.
Oops. Indeed, indeed. Especially since this is going to take a minute anyway. It's going to take a long time regardless of what I do. So let me pull up the broadcaster and stuff. And oops, streamception. I have to hit in stream on like 3 different websites. Oh, Google Hangouts. If I could. Alright, thanks everybody for watching. You're all awesome. Oops. It logged me out, but it's still streaming me. That's interesting. I love technology. Come on. There we go. What? Well, I don't know what happened. Maybe it like, oh no, there we go. Here we are. Alright, thanks everybody for watching. You have a great day. Okay, and then